In 1989, in a small rural town outside Vilnius, Lithuania, a psychiatric hospital operated under government secrecy. It was known as St. Aurelius Institute, and it specialized in post-trauma hallucination research. At least, that's what the public believed. But inside, a handful of doctors studied something else entirely. Patients who claimed their minds were haunted, not by ghosts, but by people who refused to die. Dr. Adrian Cole, 41 years old, British American, a paranormal psychologist. His specialty, treating trauma survivors who believed they were cursed. He did not believe in curses. He believed in pattern delusion. That belief is what destroyed him. The case that changed everything in 1991, Dr. Cole was assigned a patient transferred from a burned-down farmhouse. Her name was Elżbieta Markovna. Age, 29, survivor of a forbidden rural ritual known as the 13th Night. She had witnessed her brother's murder by a secret village circle who practiced revenge magic. Not myth, not hallucination. A generational ritual meant to bind a victim's soul to the killers. Her brother's killer didn't stab him. He placed a hand over his face and whispered a sequence of words known only as the Frozen Mourner's chant. Her brother died, but his eyes never closed, even after burial. Even when his body rotted, his eyes stayed open, watching. First interview, recorded transcript. The first sign that something was wrong did not come in the form of screams, shadows, or rattling doors. It came in silence. Elżbieta slept, but not like a human being sleeps. For the first 4 nights under observation, Dr. Cole monitored her schedule. Phew. She did not toss or turn. She did not drift gradually into rest. She would simply stop, as if someone had pulled a switch inside her mind. One moment her eyes were open, staring, unblinking. The next, she would fall into sleep. Abrupt, absolute, unnatural. 19 minutes. Exactly. Not a second more. The nurses timed it out of curiosity at first, then out of concern, then out of fear. On the 3rd night, Nurse Vaska whispered to Dr. Cole, "I don't think she sleeps. I think she leaves." He dismissed it as superstition, a regional folklore warning. Trauma-induced somnology disorder. Nothing more. But the temperature is what changed his mind. During those 19 minutes, Elżbieta's body dropped to 28 degrees Celsius, 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Clinically, she should have been hypothermic, shivering, delirious, stiff. Yet she looked peaceful. Her chest barely moved. Her lips parted just enough to suggest breath. Her fingers relaxed into her palms as if holding something no one else could see. The cold around her bed wasn't like the cold of winter air. It was the cold of cellars, cathedrals, graves, the cold of places where sunlight cannot remember its way. One night, Dr. Cole leaned close, placing his hand near her wrist to measure pulse fluctuations. He expected frailty, weakness. Instead, her skin felt like polished stone, smooth, cold, unresponsive. He pulled back slightly, unsettled, though he couldn't explain why. Then she began to whisper. Soft at first, fragments, like someone speaking to a loved one in their sleep. But the closer he leaned, the clearer it became. Not the tone of someone dreaming, but someone reporting. "He sees through me. He sees you. He is learning your eyes." Dr. Cole froze. Patients speak in sleep. In sleep. Trauma victims relive events. This was not that. She was not dreaming. She was transmitting. Her lips moved slowly, each word shaped with precision, as though repeating something whispered directly into her ear from a mouth pressed close behind her. And still, she did not breathe, not once. 19 minutes later, her eyes opened, not startled, not disoriented, but aware, awake as though she had been waiting for him to be close enough to hear. She turned her head slightly, just enough that her gaze caught his. And Dr. Cole felt something he had not felt in all his years of treating trauma, delusion, or madness. He felt observed. Whatever was watching him was not her. The request came at dusk. The hospital windows reflected the bleeding orange of a dying sun when Elżbieta spoke her first full sentence in days. She didn't look at Dr. Cole when she said it. She just stared straight ahead as if someone else had spoken through her. "Oh, would you like to speak to him?" Her voice was calm, too calm. It didn't tremble. It didn't waver. It carried the weight of something inevitable. Dr. Cole felt his chest tighten, not from fear but curiosity. The kind a researcher feels when they stand too close to an answer they aren't prepared for. He agreed. They chose a room on the hospital's lower floor. Once a chapel, now used for storage. The staff called it the ritual room in hushed humor, though none of them remembered why. The walls were stone. The windows were boarded. The air held the scent of dust and forgotten prayers. There were no lights inside except one single bulb hanging from a long wire. It flickered whenever someone stepped beneath it, like it was trying to warn them to turn back. Elżbieta entered first. She didn't hesitate. Her footsteps didn't echo. They glided. Dr. Cole followed, holding a recorder, his notebook, and that quiet, stubborn confidence of a man who believes the mind can explain any darkness. She sat on the floor. Not cross-legged, no. She folded herself with almost ceremonial intention, her spine perfectly straight, hands resting on her knees, palms open. Then she spoke. Turn off the light. He hesitated. Please. The bulb died with a soft pop. Darkness swallowed them whole. But this wasn't ordinary darkness. It wasn't absence of light. It was presence of something else. The air thickened. Cold seeped upward through the floor. Dr. Cole could hear his own pulse behind his ears. Then silence, the type of silence that has weight, the kind that makes the body forget how to breathe, Elżbieta exhaled, slow, controlled, and stopped breathing entirely. She didn't gasp, didn't choke, didn't struggle. She simply ceased. Dr. Cole leaned forward, whispering her name, but the sound of his voice didn't move the air. It felt swallowed, pressed down, contained. And then a voice spoke from somewhere behind him. Adrian. Not loud, not dramatic, not monstrous, just familiar. His mother's voice. The mother he buried 6 years earlier. The darkness seemed to lean closer, as though a face was inches from his own, studying him with patience older than language. His throat tightened, his body froze, then Elżbieta's eyes opened. But they were not hers. They were wet, unblinking, decayed. The eyes of a corpse that had waited too long to be acknowledged. Her lips parted. He sees you now. Wait. By the time Dr. Cole began to seek answers, the staff at St. Aurelius had already stopped asking questions. The hospital had grown quieter. Nurses avoided the corridors near Elżbieta's room. Orderlies refused to check on her alone. Silence had become its own language there. But Dr. Cole needed logic. He needed cause, origin, explanation. He believed that if you understand what haunts a mind, you can free it. He had no understanding of what he was dealing with. So he returned to Elżbieta's hometown, a forgotten cluster of gray buildings, empty farms and fields that stretched like bruised skin under an endless sky. The people there spoke softly, and only when necessary. They recognized Elżbieta's name, but their eyes shifted away when he said it. They weren't just afraid of her, they were afraid for him. An elderly woman, her back curved like a withering tree branch, finally agreed to speak. She did not look at him while she talked. She told him about the 13th night. Not a celebration, not a ritual of honor. A punishment, not a ritual of honor. A punishment. A ritual used by the old village council to exact revenge without justice. Revenge without bloodshed. The ritual was not meant to kill the victim. No, death would be mercy. It was meant to bind the victim's soul to the living, trapping it in a constant state of awareness, unable to scream, unable to rest, unable to fade. A soul forced to watch through the eyes of another. Not possessed, imprisoned, but the ritual had a flaw. A doorway opened by the ritual does not close until the soul finds a new host. Elżbieta's brother wasn't the one who stepped through. Something else saw the opening first. Something older than language. Older than death. A thing that does not keep a body of its own. It wears people, one at a time. The old woman warned him. When you looked into her eyes, doctor, you didn't see her. You saw what was looking back. Dr. Cole tried to dismiss it. He tried to bury the fear beneath analysis, diagrams, and medical terminology. But the signs were already showing. His reflection paused when he walked past mirrors. Not lagging. Waiting. Rooms felt occupied when he was alone. Not haunted. Observed. Someone breathed behind his ear when he slept. Someone stood just beyond the corner of his vision. Someone learned how to move his hands when he reached for a pen. The curse was not about death. It was about replacement. A soul slowly being worn down, like fabric thinning under a weight it can't hold. The ritual was not a tragedy that happened to Elżbieta. It was a trap set for whoever tried to save her, and Dr. Cole had walked directly into it. The trap did not spring all at once. It tightened slowly, like a hand closing over a throat. Dr. Cole didn't notice the moment it began, only the moment he was too deep to crawl back out. He started losing sleep first, not the restless kind of sleeplessness that comes from nightmares or anxiety. This was different. He felt rested, but he couldn't remember ever closing his eyes. Hours disappeared. Whole nights dissolved as if swallowed by darkness he didn't witness. And when he looked into the mirror each morning, he saw something that unsettled him in a way he couldn't name. His expression didn't match what he was feeling. Sometimes his face smiled when he didn't. Sometimes his eyes didn't blink when he did. Sometimes his reflection looked at him long after he turned away. Small things at first, yet small things can destroy a mind faster than catastrophe. The hospital began to fear him. Nurses avoided meeting his gaze. They whispered about the way he moved, too quietly, too smoothly, as if he already knew where their bodies would be before they arrived there. One orderly swore she saw him standing in the hallway outside the patient wing all night. But Dr. Cole remembered being in his office. The hallway lights flickered when he walked under them. Monitors glitched when he entered rooms. Dogs on the hospital grounds howled when he passed. But still, he told himself it was stress. It had to be. Because if it wasn't stress, then the only explanation was one he had spent his career denying. Something was inside him, learning, shaping, replacing. The breathing, it began one night as he sat alone in his office, reviewing patient notes. The room was quiet. The kind of quiet that feels intentional. Then he heard it, a slow, steady breathing right behind him. Not loud enough to startle, just close enough to claim. He turned. No one was there. But the air was warm, as if someone had only just stepped back. His pulse quickened, his palms dampened. A primal part of him, the part that still remembers when humans hid from the dark, began to scream, yet he forced himself still. He would not give fear the dignity of acknowledgement, but the breathing continued, not around him, inside him, like two lungs where there should only be one. Freeze and only be one. The moment he realized it happened when he returned to Elżbieta's room. She was sitting upright, eyes calm, posture composed, no trace of the trembling, haunted woman she had once been. She looked at him the way one looks at a storm that has finally reached land, and she smiled, not cruelly, not triumphantly, but with relief. "It shows you, doctor." Her voice was soft. "Grateful. The door is closed now. I am free." That was the trap. The ritual was never meant to imprison her. She was the bait, and Dr. Adrian Cole had taken her place. The final session was never officially scheduled. There was no appointment, no written order, no witness on record. It simply happened, as if it had already been decided long before either of them were born. The hospital was quiet that evening, unnaturally quiet. The kind of stillness that suggests the building itself is holding its breath. Most of the staff had gone home early, citing headaches and nausea. Those who remained moved through the halls in hurried silence, avoiding eye contact, avoiding his shadow. Dr. Cole walked toward Elżbieta's room with deliberate steps, as though his body already knew the path by memory. He did not remember deciding to visit her. His legs simply carried him. When he opened the door, she was waiting for him, not strapped to the bed, not trembling, not delirious. She sat upright, perfectly calm, the faintest flicker of something like peace in her eyes. No fear, not anymore. The overhead light buzzed and dimmed, leaving the room in a dull, colorless glow. Dr. Cole felt a pressure behind his eyes, like something pushing forward, eager to see. Elżbieta spoke first. "He is almost finished." Her voice was gentle, not cruel, not mocking, almost compassionate. Dr. Cole tried to answer, but the words caught in his throat. His voice did not feel like his own. His voice did not feel like his own. It was as if someone else was standing slightly behind him, speaking with him, waiting to take over. He took a breath, and another breath took him back. Elżbieta leaned closer. "This was never about me. I was the doorway. You were the room he needed to fill. Oh. Her pupils dilated, then swallowed the color of her eyes entirely, leaving them pitch black, not soulless, overflowing. The room darkened, not from the failing light, but from something thick filling the air, a gathering presence, a shape without form, a weight without body, a hunger without mouth, a hunger without mouth. Dr. Cole's heart slowed. His fingers twitched, then froze. He felt his own consciousness sliding backward like a man slipping under deep water. His last sensations were not pain, nor fear, but realization. He had spent his entire career trying to explain the darkness. Now he would live in it. Elżbieta exhaled slowly. Her body softened, like a tight fist finally unclenching. For the first time in years, she looked alive, free. She stood, walked past him, and left the room without looking back. She never needed to, because what had worn her soul now wore his. And after that, the hospital shut down within weeks. Files vanished, patient records erased, the building abandoned, left to rot under layers of dust and silence. But there are reports, rumors, whispers. Travelers passing through old Eastern European towns claim to see a man in abandoned places, schools, hospitals, forgotten train stations. His clothes, outdated, his steps slow, his eyes open, too open, watching, waiting, searching for someone who will look back long enough for him to step through. So if you feel something behind you now, don't turn around. You've already heard the story, and he's already heard you. Dr. Cole, you believe your brother is still with you? Elżbieta? Not with me. She leaned forward, her pupils dilated like drops of ink. Elżbieta, inside me. Dr. Cole, a memory? Elżbieta? No, Dr. Attendant. She claimed the murderer had bound her brother's soul into her, so the killer could keep him from passing on and continue torturing him forever. Dr. Cole classified it as delusional identity entanglement. He was wrong.